Hello everybody and welcome back to the Gaming Powerups. On today's video will be a thrift haul. What I've found over January and February at some of my local thrift shops. One very special item I've been looking for a little while. I was able to actually find it now. So without further ado, let's get into the video. Alright everybody, so welcome back to the video. So I will be going kind of store by store, what I found, I've got quite a few. Usually I go out and look for a lot of retro games in particular, and I don't usually come across a lot of stuff, or at least around where I live. It usually seems to be combed over, or just people just kind of holding on to their stuff. But I do have one store, not a thrift store, but a secondhand store that deals mostly in CDs and movies, but they've slowly started to build up their retro gaming collection. I was actually able to find Armor Marines. I know absolutely zero about this game, but I just knew by the cover, because, you know, us retro heads love to buy things because of the cover. I decided to grab it, and for finding an N64 game that's, you know, not $50 somewhere, that's, you know, collector price somewhere, was pretty awesome. So I'm excited to add that into the collection. This one was on a thrift store. I was able to find Enter the Matrix. You know, I got late into the Matrix game. I didn't watch the movies until a couple of years ago, and I really actually fell in love with them. So it was kind of cool to be able to find one of the games that corresponds with the movie. Another one is one of my all-time favorite game series before they kind of went off and started doing other crazy stuff, is Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 4. So interestingly enough, I have 1, 2, and 3. I've played number 4, but I've never actually owned number 4. I didn't get into the Tony Hawk Underground or Ride or, you know, all the other spin-offs they had from there. To me, like, once 4 was done, that was kind of the end of the franchise for me. At least for my enjoyment out of the game. I just love the arcade style skateboarding. I could never skateboard. It just was not coordinated enough for that. So it's cool to be able to live out my my skateboarding dreams through a video game. All right, so onto another thrift store. Was able to find quite a few games actually. So someone must have just dropped them off. So the first one is Home Alone 2. For the Game Boy, and the second one I was really surprised to find is Wario Land for the Game Boy. So it came in the protective cases. It came with the instruction manuals. I was really surprised. Typically handheld games, I almost feel like people must just get rid of them and just toss them. They don't think that they're worth anything, or not even worth to kind of drop off anywhere. Because I find them really hard, or you get them and they're like saturated in pops and, you know, sticky or ripped labels. To find these in pretty pristine condition, I was really surprised. Also, what I found was a gigantic stack of really awesome condition PlayStation 2 games. So first one I grabbed was Star Wars Bounty Hunter. I've seen a lot of reviews on this game. I've seen a lot of footage of this game. It seems like it's really fun. I'm not the biggest Star Wars nut, but I do enjoy some from time to time. So I'm really curious to give this game a shot and see how it is. Picked up Red Faction 2. So interestingly enough, I bought the first one on the PlayStation Store for my PS2, because it's the PlayStation 2 games with like the HD graphics that are on there, so it just kind of smooths out some of the textures and makes it a little bit more eye-pleasing. I picked up the first one for like $1, and I was like, okay, I tried it out, and I was like, man, this game is so cool. Like, I've never been able to play a first-person shooter where you shoot a rocket launcher and the wall actually blows up. You know, how many times we play a game and you shoot a rocket launcher off and then nothing happens, or only the enemy dies. So it's kind of cool to be able to like go into, and the environment is, you know, interactable in that way that you can blow stuff up. So when I saw that, I was like, I need to get the second one to kind of keep going through the franchise, because I really enjoyed it. Another one, Final Fantasy X. I am not the biggest turn-based RPG fan. I'm very impatient in that sense. I don't enjoy a lot of them, but Final Fantasy's always been kind of cool. I've never played this one. I've heard a lot of good things about it, so I decided to give that one a shot. But and especially to find it in such good condition, I was pretty excited to find it. Another super creepy one that I will not play without the lights being on and my wife being home to hold my hand is Silent Hill 3. Damn, these games are so spooky. I've not played the third one. I've played a little bit of the first one, and I think the fourth one. So I've never played the number 3. It would be kind of cool to get through this, but yeah, not without the lights on, and not without my wife here to hold my hand, because this will get scary. I don't want to get nightmares. The last 2 from this store, Prince of Persia: Sands of Time. This game here, I've always, gotten a lot of good reviews off of. This is kind of before it went off and then just became, Assassin's Creed once they kept dropping the ball on Prince of Persia. This was kind of like the definitive Prince of Persia game. It had that ability where you can make a mistake when you jump, and then you could rewind time. You rewind the sands of time. And then you could go and play through, that jump again or redo it again. So, this is kind of the predecessor to Assassin's Creed. Was Prince of Persia, and then once they kind of wanted to make a game, and then they changed their mind and made Assassin's Creed, and kind of the rest is history. The last is probably at least top 5 favorite games on PlayStation 2. I put way too many hours in this game by just doing side missions, just blowing stuff up, and not actually like playing the game. Grand Theft Auto 3. So for any of you that have played this game and just got lost into running around and just shooting people, or just running around doing side missions. Fantastic game, especially coming off the first 2 that were top-down view. They really nailed this game. Vice City is probably my second favorite, just because I put a lot of time into 3, but, Vice City being kind of cool because you had more voice actors for your character. Your character wasn't just silent, but just the amount of, things you could do in this game, I never got bored playing Grand Theft Auto 3, so it was really cool to find a nice clean copy of that as well. So down to my last item, my piece de la resistance, is a GameCube. I know some of you guys are going like, hey, don't you already have a GameCube? Don't you actually have 2 GameCubes? One that you painted that's in behind me, behind the Ninja Turtles? Yes, I do. I spotted this because not only does it have, the typical wires that would come with it, which I find, at least at my thrift stores, a lot of times when they get consoles in, they'll take the console and then they'll push it off to the side, and then they'll put it over in this section, and then they'll take the AV cables and they'll put it over in that section, and then they'll take the power bar and they'll put it in the clothes section. So they never actually sell it together. So I was actually surprised to see that they actually bundled all of this together, and not just try to separate it all out. It's nothing worse than trying to buy a console and doesn't have any of the power cords or anything like that. It came with a controller. Actually came with 2 controllers. This is the first one. Interestingly enough, I didn't know that they had, I have the purple indigo controller for my original GameCube that I got, but I didn't know that it was first party for them to have the clear stuff in the back. And I'm a sucker for clear controllers, clear consoles. That's just really what I really love about retro gaming is, that the time where they were like, let's stop hiding what's inside these machines and let's show them what's inside. I don't know. I'm just a real sucker for those. So it was really cool to see that. Again, I thought it was mostly third parties that did that. I didn't know Nintendo actually put out first party ones with that. And my final piece is the Wavebird. Woo! Really excited. I've been looking for a Wavebird forever since they came out, and then Nintendo just stopped making them, and then I couldn't find them anymore. It didn't matter where I went, and then everywhere I find them, they're always like $50, $60, $70 for these things. So really cool controller. It is a little bit bulkier. I mean, for the most part, it's the same, it's the same layout of the controller, but obviously you have the battery pack that runs in the middle of it. You insert your batteries in the back. Now, the only thing that this doesn't have in comparison to a regular GameCube controller is the rumble. So they've removed the rumble from this. I believe it was just for space, number one, because right in the back where the battery goes is actually right where the rumble pad is in the back. So I think that was part of the design and why they wanted to change it. And probably just for battery life. I feel like having the rumble going off would probably drain the battery life in it. You know, it feels great in the hands. It's nice and heavy. I don't like super light controllers. You know, even when I play N64, if the game doesn't use the rumble pack, I usually just leave it in there because it feels too light without it. So without it having the rumble in there, it still feels pretty heavy, pretty hardy. There we go. Words are hard sometimes. In my hands. But the biggest thing, it's great to find a Wavebird. It's fantastic. I've been looking for it forever. But if it doesn't come with one of these, if it doesn't come with the receiver, it's useless. I mean, unless you already have one at home. So if you're ever looking for a Wavebird, and you come across one, a lot of times you'll find just the controller, but you do need the adapter. That does plug into the back of your GameCube. You know, you have your channel selector that you have on the bottom of your controller as well. So it is important to know that it's not just, you know, the old games you needed a receiver. It didn't have Bluetooth or wireless built into it. So you needed to have the receiver that talked back and forth to the controller so that when you were playing it. The lag on this thing is virtually non-existent from what I understand. I have yet to kind of really give it a good go. But I'm excited to finally add a Wavebird to my collection. Interestingly enough, I almost wasn't going to buy it because I didn't want to buy the entire console. I was like, I hum and hawed about it. My wife was like, listen, you've been looking for this thing forever. She's like, this will be my gift to you. So you can stop talking about how much you want this Wavebird. No, but it was awesome to be able to find it. And I'm glad I pulled the trigger on buying the entire thing. You know, again, even if it really was only for the Wavebird. So that's the video, guys. That is my January, February thrift hauls. So, you know, let me know in the comments below, guys. Did you guys go thrifting at all? Did you guys pick up any retro games in the last 2 months? Let me know in the comments down below. You know, you guys can find me on Instagram as well. Hit me up there at the Gaming Powerups. And if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. You know what to do. Subscribe, ping the bell notification. And you guys can also find me on Twitch as well. I hopefully will be able to get to streaming some of these retro games. So until next time, guys, game on. But wait, there's more.
That's good. That's good.
You recording?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is what I'm going to do is I'm going to show it up here. How does that look on the thing? Is it too close?
That's good.
Yeah? How about here? You still see it good or no? I got to be like right here?
Yeah. You don't see your face, you see your hand.
That's fine.
Yep.
Okay.
Want to start it over?
Good to go? All right.